and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Cyclical. I'm hanging on. I'm hanging on for dear life to comic books. I can't let go. I can't. Oh. I can just stand up. I can just stand up. Coffee. Rant time. Not my best cold open right there. Not my smoothest transition. I'm running out of ideas, guys. I can only think of so many ways to walk into camera. Maybe I can rappel at some point. That'd be pretty epic. If I ever do a video where I can rappel into my chair, that's going to be a good intro. But in this video, we need to have a talk. We need to have a talk. Comic community. Can I talk to you guys for a second? Did I just give you a little bit of anxiety? I know that when my significant other, not that we're significant others, but, you know, we have some community relationship here. But when I know when my significant other is like, hey, we need to have a talk, my heart gets a little anxious all of a sudden. But it's okay. This is an important talk. Okay, you didn't do anything wrong. You're not in trouble yet. We need to talk about how now is not the time to leave the hobby. You know, I've been looking around the communities. I got eyes everywhere. Looking at the Reddit comic collecting community, the YouTube comic collecting community, the Instagram comic collecting community. And I must say, whereas some months back there was a lot of negativity out there in the space, right now I'm feeling a little bit of apathy. Feels like less people generally talking about comics, generally excited. Now, it could be due to the fact that we are in the holiday season. People are busy. You know, people are watching World Cup soccer, etc., etc. But it does feel like now we're kind of at that point where there's been a lot of churn. And I feel like I owe you guys a video, a conversation, a little pep talk, a little PSA to discuss why now is not the time to leave comic books. But of course, before I get into it, if you guys could drop me a like, comment, subscribe, I'm going to sip some coffee and let us discuss. So to that point, you know, it feels like obviously we're coming off of a big, huge surge in comic books. Everything went to the moon. Things went absolutely crazy. And now we are, you know, just days away from Christmas here. Just a week or so away from 2023. And there is this feeling. There's a lot of people that are checking out. You know, they're cashing out. They're thinking to themselves, you know, comics, it was fun. During COVID, I got back into it. I went super hard. And I just don't want to do this anymore. It's not fun anymore. And to those people, I feel bad. I mean, it's certainly, if it's not fun, then it's not worth doing. You know, and I can totally understand. Everyone's situations are different. People may need to kind of check out, cash out, liquefy their collections, go to the LCS, just dump it, just say, let me give this to you guys. I don't care what you want to pay me for it, but here, just take it all. I don't care anymore. But what I would say to those people is, if you can hold on, if you can find some joy in the hobby, if you can weather the storm of what is to come, you know, in this current climate, in this current economic downturn that we're in this current, you know, slump in comic books that we're in right now. I mean, I haven't even brought up the fact that, you know, Aftershock just filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I mean, I haven't even brought up the fact that, you know, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, however you feel about it, it doesn't seem like it sort of had the, you know, effect financially that Marvel was hoping for. You know, Phase 4 overall has been a disappointment. You know, everyone in comics is you know, upset over the, you know, constant printing of variants and everything that's going on in the community. So it's a tough time right now. It's definitely like a time when it doesn't feel fun. But to quote the great Tom Hiddleston Loki, the sun will shine on us again in the future. Did I butcher that quote? You guys know what I'm talking about. The sun will shine again. It is going to be the case that there will be a time when it gets fun again, when everyone in the community is super excited, when comic book prices and euphoria are going crazy once again, when Marvel and Phase 5 or 6 is hitting on all cylinders once again. This is going to happen. It is a cyclical thing in the hobby. And you want to be around for that part. You don't want to be the guy, okay? You don't want to be the guy who drops off their collection at the LCS right now, misses all of the opportunities to buy all of these Grail books that they wanted, for the next year, hell, maybe even year and a half or 2 years. And then when we get to 2025, and all of a sudden one day you sit down in front of your computer and you hit YouTube, and all of a sudden you see this, new trailer posted today, Avengers Secret Wars. And you click on that trailer and you see it and you get super hyped for the fact that Robert Downey Jr. is coming back, Chris Evans is coming back. All of a sudden, Silver Surfer is in this Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the, ultimate event. Kang, Doctor Doom, Fantastic Four, all of this stuff. Hugh Jackman Wolverine's going to be in there. We're going to get Halle Berry Storm. Literally every single superhero that has ever existed is going to be in that movie. And that's when you say to yourself, oh man, I miss comic books, man. Comic books were pretty cool. I remember back in 2021 when I was buying all these comic books. Man, that was fun. Hey, I wonder if I still have any of those comic books. And then you go to your short box. Of course, you liquefy them all, but maybe you still had a couple. And you're like, I really like this cover. I really like this book. And then you start thinking to yourself, maybe I should go down to my LCS. I haven't been there in a few years. And you go into your LCS, and then you start flipping through the books, and then you start getting all excited again. And then you start to see some of these grails that you wanted to pick up. And you realize that you could have bought them for half price just 2 years ago, right after, you initially liquefy your collection. And now that we're in Secret Wars, and all of a sudden in pop culture, everybody is, excited about comic books again, and the economic climate has improved based on, the global factors, and they're printing money once again. And all of a sudden, these sort of, commodity prices and stuff are all going up, and everything is expensive again. And that is going to be not the time to buy. If anything, let me tell you this right now. If you're somebody out there who's just done with comic books and you're just like, you just don't want to be in it anymore, what I would say to you is wait 3 years. Get out when we have Secret Wars. Get out in top euphoria. You want to be John Elway. You want to retire on the top. Just go into Avengers Secret Wars, watch that movie, have it be the greatest assembly of superheroes ever in a movie at one time, and literally the next day, then go to your LCS and say, here's my comic book collection. That's what I want for you. If you are dead serious about leaving the hobby, I just think now is not the time to leave. If you can weather the storm. Again, look, everyone's situation is different. Everyone's circumstances are different. Completely understand. If you have to, sell off some of your collection because you need to pay bills, by all means, 1,000% pay those bills. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying if right now is the time that you're just feeling like it's not fun and you just kind of want to check out, I think that there are going to be better times to check out. Can I tell you guys a little story? A little story time? I'll tell you a little story time. I know I'm going to bring up crypto. I know you guys hate crypto. Oh, don't click it. Don't dislike. Don't whatever. This is just we're just sharing a little story here. Okay, here come the dislikes, but let me just share. Okay, I remember getting back into crypto, or I should say, I remember getting into crypto for the very first time in 2017, 2018. That was the very first time that Swaggle Haas ever bought himself some crypto, and that was the time. That was like the big bull run at that time. It was like, oh my God, Bitcoin was blowing up. Can you believe it? The prices went to like $17,000 or whatever the case was. And one of my friends told me, he's like, dude, you got to get into this. You got to get into this. And so for the very first time, I bought into it. And I bought into it during that euphoria stage. I don't remember what I paid. It was probably like 15,000 or whatever the price of Bitcoin was. And then I also bought some Ethereum at that time too. And then just like that, the euphoria was over. We go into 2018 and down, 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 everything is going down. And I remember feeling so burned at that particular time. I remember feeling so burned. I think I sold off a little bit. I definitely kept some of it. Really, I kept some of it because selling off was like beyond me. I had no idea what I was doing. But at that point, I just completely checked out. I just completely pulled myself out of the space. Stopped watching anything YouTube, stopped reading anything about it. And it wasn't until around Q3 of 2020, mid-2020, when I started to think to myself, what's going on in that space again? You know, like what is happening in crypto? I remember I still have some stuff on my thumb drive. Like, what should I do with this stuff? And that's when I started to watch again. And that's when I started to like kind of buy back in. And luckily, I bought back in slightly before things went crazy. But I think to myself often, man, there was a time when Ethereum was $80 for one ETH, $80. And then I only jumped back in, you know, when it was being sold around 400, 500 or whatever. And it's like, there was such an opportunity to buy it at this low, but I wasn't paying attention. I didn't care. So the point I'm making with this is the same thing is going to happen with comic books. You're going to have this opportunity to buy all this stuff. And what you don't want to do is FOMO into it later. You know, you don't want to do that. Now, I'm not saying to you guys, this is not financial advice, by the way, but I'm not saying to you guys, I'm not saying that now is the time. You must be buying right now. I'm not saying that now is the time. You must be watching every single Swaggle-Haas YouTube video out there on YouTube. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, I think you should try to keep one foot in. The temptation is to fully check out. The temptation is to cut all ties. But I think it is important for you to still have one finger on the pulse. Just to know, like keep stuff in your purview. You know what I mean? Like just see the comic book market. It's still there, still keeping tabs. You don't need to do anything yet, but just don't fully cut it off. And I think you're going to be thankful that you didn't, because we all know this. Comic books are like, they're like WWE wrestling. You know, you never really quit it. You just start to think like, yeah, Royal Rumble's coming around. Royal Rumble is so cool. You know, and you start to think like, I wonder who's going to win the Royal Rumble this year. You know, and even if you don't have the same nostalgia for it, it just happens. It comes back into your life. And the same thing is going to happen with comic books. The same thing is going to happen to you. You can't quit it. You can't go cold turkey. And so you're better off just still paying some attention to it. Anyways, that is my little PSA. That's my little rambly rant. My point to you guys is, in this time where comic books are not feeling fun, when comic book companies are going under, when the MCU is not doing what it once did. I didn't even talk about James Gunn DC. I mean, imagine what's going to happen if James Gunn makes DC movies exciting. You don't think that is going to create euphoria for comic book collecting? You don't think that is going to scratch your nostalgia itch just a little bit? Just pulling you back into comic books? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. You can't get away from this stuff. Now, maybe it all crashes and burns. Maybe that was the top. Maybe 2021 was it. Maybe 2022, top of 22 was the height of the market and everything's going to zero. Totally possible. But wouldn't you want to know if it's going to zero? Don't you want to still keep a little bit of tabs on these markets? So I think it's really important as we kind of go into 2023, you know, just weeks away. I think it's really important for you guys to hang in there. Don't leave the hobby. Again, I'm not saying that you have to buy. You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to do anything. Just don't check out. Because I think if you can keep just a little bit of tabs on things, you'll be better off for it. And when the itch comes rolling around once again, you won't have to beat yourself up for having to FOMO into it at the height of 2025 once again. Because the Avengers effect is real. I haven't even talked about that. I haven't even done videos about that. The Avengers effect in terms of what it's done in comic book market prices in history, because in the wake of Avengers tentpole films, there is always a boom in the market. And it's going to get you. It's going to get you. It's going to get you because this is just what it does. Anyways, that's all I have for this video. That was me going on my little rambly rant. I need some more coffee. Let me know what you guys think. I know if you're watching this video at this point, now I'm just rambling. But if you are literally watching this video at this point in the video, I don't really need to be talking to you because you're already here. You're already sticking around. You know what I mean? I probably should have made this video like 3 months ago. I think that would have been a more appropriate time to make this video, to tell the people who have churned to not churn, because I think a lot of those people have already churned. So what I'm saying to the very remaining few who are literally grabbing their car keys, about to put their boxes in their cars and liquefy all those comics, I'm saying to you, before you do that, just think about what I said. Anyways, this is not financial advice. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. Christmas time's coming up. It's going to be fun. I hope there's a grail under your tree. Anyways, that's all I got. Drop me a like, comment, subscribe if you're enjoying the content. I will see you in the next video.